Hi Yash, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing, Gaurav?
I'm good. Thank you very much for coming down for another session. And today, as the topic suggests, we are discussing the energies in context of business. So the positive energies, negative energies, how positive energies impact and flourish the businesses, and how negative energies on the other side, impacts and downplays the businesses and the hard effort of enterprises and the founders, business owners. So, so actually, uh, I why I chose this topic is because humans as we discussed in one of our last videos, a lot of our energies actually we bring back from our work, workplaces. So, for example, especially in terms of man and anyone who is going to office or and business places, we do spend a gross amount of time in the business, places. Especially in terms of businesses, there are businesses, there are business owners who say, put a gross amount of efforts into growing their businesses, but they get not equal amount of results out of it. And but on the other side, there are some other businesses like young founders who, for some reason, maybe understandable or not understandable, they like have that a sort of different sort of energy, they bring a different sort of thought process and ideas. They are able to catch those ideas for some reason, and they flourish their businesses very easily, without much effort in comparison of the other business owners, small businesses owners, who might be the right audience of our video. So this is the first point that I want to begin by asking your thoughts on this topic. Help us understand precisely. Elaborate on this idea of how energies impact businesses and business owners and the growth of businesses. From both positive and negative sides.
Yeah. Gaurav, as always, I would like to, thank my ancestors for the day that we are conducting this video. So, just to answer your question, in all businesses, you have right from traditional business model to the startups, right? In between, you have the mid-scale type of model that does the businesses. So the traditional one is generally the ones that are hand over from generation to generation. So the skill, the talent actually comes from the generational perspective. While they want to try and modernize, they also hire or engage external people to come in, new talents to come in and contribute to the growth of the business.
Right.
So that there is a fresh set of energy that comes in with it. While here we have the traditional generational energy that is consistently coming through generation to generation. So there is a shift between the traditional and the new talent that is coming in with the fresh energy, because they are coming from the outside of this family tradition, right? Whereas you have the mid-scale to the startup, they are being either mentored by the investors, or they themselves come up with their own idea, to come out into the business industry. They could have, there are various variety of entrepreneurs today, some who are just generally getting out of college and want to start up a business. Then you have a set of people who have already worked in a work environment. It could be any company, and generally you see a lot of corporate folks also coming out into the entrepreneurship perspective. And then you have another set of people who are already taking up mentorship from investors, like how do I do this business. They may not necessarily come up with the idea, but the idea may exist somewhere else, and then they just pick up this idea and say, I have the money, go run this business for me, you know and then you also have people like me, for example, who are not from the business environment completely, who wants to start up something, and I am divinely guided by this entire structure that I'm trying to put it out there, whether it's spiritual, or whether it's business side. The spiritual, definitely, I don't consider it a business at all, because it's spiritual. But I'm trying to build up my Yash heritage business, which is still work in progress at the background, and that was coming to me from a divine perspective. So you can see there are various modalities of people coming in with different type of energies into the industry. So when someone gets an idea, they put it into paper, then they come up with the plan on how to execute the business, right? um, and then you have to get in touch with different set of people based on the type of industry that you want to get into. It could be manufacturing, it could be suppliers, it could be variety of people that you are getting in touch with, and each of these people would come with different set of energies that already exist with them. So you're actually interacting your energy with another set of energy that is going out there. So that's why I always feel that whenever we are going out of our house, first we have to set a parameter to put a protection around us so that our energy remains positive all the time. Even though you may interact with a lot of people who may come back to you with a lot of energies that may not transform into a successful business discussion, it may in the future give you the chance to evolve. But at the same time, there may be situation you might just click and you just kind of go ahead with the business. So it's always practical, for you to put a protection so that you are always your aura that is surrounding you is always protected with a positive energy from your divine soul. Your soul is divine, so you have to set a parameter to protect your soul first, so that when you go out, your intention is clearly understood, and they clearly take in your inputs and then start interacting with you in a positive manner. If you go with the mindset that from the beginning, from your home, and say, oh, I want to do this business, but I don't think I can do it. If you step out of the house just with that statement, you already created a barrier with your energy. And then at the same time, when you go approach the other individual, that energy actually kind of interacting with your aura energy that says, oh, this person is not quite ready, and this person isn't the right candidate that we want to deal with, or the supplier that we want to deal with, or the business person that we want to deal with. So it's actually the energy A and energy B is interacting, right? We are all sort of energy. We are just in a physical form, right? The soul is radiating the energy that we are when we meet people. That's why in our generational term, when we say wanakam, we are not saying to the physical form, we are actually saying wanakam to the soul that is within you. So that has to be recognized first. So when you go with the intention, for example, if I'm stepping out of the house, I'm already setting the intention that today my day is going to be successful, my business is going to be successful. I'm sending this positive energy to the other person that I'm going to meet. Let's say I'm going to meet Gaurav today to complete my manufacturing requirements. I'm setting the intention clearly to say that today my discussion is going to go well. I'm going to go through this business discussion successfully, and we're going to take it to the next level. So you see the shift of energy. It's basically a shift between me and you. So there are different sets of energy that will be coming in, and then you have many people. In case you are discussing with many people in the room, there will be let's say there are 10 people in that room, 10 energies are interacting with one another. So we have to always set that intention when we go for the meeting, that whichever person that we are meeting, we have to make sure that their energies are always radiating positivity towards us, and we are radiating positivity towards them. It's a true affirmation which you can do it in the morning. When you get up in the morning, when you set your intention, it's like you go through the cleansing purification in the morning. with the breathing technique. Then you get into a affirmation statement where, let's say I'm meeting Gaurav and another nine more people in the room, I would say, I want to, meet Gaurav today and I want to be successful in our discussion. So the statement has to be in a positive manner. It should not be negative at all. We should never go out with a negative statement in our thoughts. The thoughts actually creates the matter, right? So our thoughts actually transfers our energy towards the person that we're going to meet. So our thoughts has to be clear. It has to be always in a positive vibration. So with that, when we are meeting, that person will be very happy to meet you as well, and then the interaction goes well, and the energy level also kind of goes in a consistent perspective. That is the differences. And then you see the startup people are coming up with a lot of ideas, right? Because they are just fresh from the school, and they can also be coming with a lot of experience from the company that they were working with. So they already seen and learn a lot of things from what they have experienced. So they come up with new ideas of how businesses can transform into a business model where it will grow faster. Instead of thinking of growing faster only, it has to be moderately growing in a good manner, so that you don't fall off in between. There are times that people just shoot up in 6 months, then after that you see there's no revenue, and then they have to shut down the startup, or the company that they're starting up. So it's always important that we do a lot of research into the industry. You don't have to be in a college, you don't have to be in an expensive environment. You can buy a couple of books, you read it, and then go into your meditation. You get that perspective of what your business outlook is going to look like, and who are your competitors, why are they successful, what is their history of their businesses, right? If you only understand this concept of the histories that have gone into creating a successful business, then it gives you the idea that yes, I can do this too. All business entrepreneurs are, you should not think that yeah, they have something special. No, everybody has a special gift that is within you. You just have to tap your creativity. Your creativity comes out from your divine perspective, and then you radiate that in your external matter, which is the physical transformation of your business. So with that, what do
Yeah,
you?
like you, the way you have presented both the ideas. One for the business owners, which are like running the legacy businesses,
Yes.
businesses that are they inheriting from their fathers, grandparents, and then the founders of the new breed of the entrepreneurs. So, I also feel this probably also has the difference lies in between wanting and not wanting. Like for example, the new entrepreneurs, they're coming with a desire to build something, right? They have not failed probably, so they have a kind of fresh mind advantage. And then there are the business owners which are actually running the legacy businesses. Their desire is different. They are not. They don't want. They don't want actually to let the business fall. So probably this shift in the energy is also what makes us into the contribution of. And also I believe it's also like uh, unconsciously both of them have a different set of energy, and they're playing their own energy unconsciously. And I believe you're suggesting is consciously you can adjust your energy to build the same boring business into new, particularly new level. Is that so?
Yeah, because the legacy business, if you see, they are still legacy. The reason why they are maintaining the legacy is the way that the story is about that company. What is the story behind? There is a great history story about this industry, or the brand that exists from a legacy standpoint. But yet they are willing to do a modern way of marketing, modern way of touching the customer. So they're touching using a new positive way of transforming the energy towards the customers to gain their attention towards this legacy brands. So you're touching your the touching point of this legacy brands is basically the story that they have. Whereas the startup has a story, but they have to build a little bit more of who they are, right? Uh, your experience alone isn't sufficient. You need to have another sort of a legacy that who you are makes it more successful to get into the industry. Some startups, they just go ahead with just a basic story, and then they then they shoot up and then they come down. But whereas you see the legacy still exists because they continue to have a story behind, and there is a particular energy that is attached to it, that continues to run this business positively all throughout a generation. So there is two different types of energy here. So the startup will have to kind of pay attention to building a legacy. A legacy is what you want to leave behind for people to know something about your brand. What exactly you have contributed to the society, for example. That is what people really look for, because contributing to the society is something that you are doing from a positive standpoint. When you go in traditional Indian style, we do a lot of contribution to the society through food donation, giving clothes, giving building houses for the needful people, etc. Whereas in the other Western European country, the style may be slightly adjusted according to their country version. So you can see that there is a touch point here. The main touch point here is people have contributed to the society. So when they contribute to the society, there is a positive energy that is already existing when they are starting up the company. So so when the customer kind of buy things or product or services from you, they believe in you because of the contribution you have made uh, to the community. This is a very important point because the community is where you build your presence, right? It's not just all about logo, the color, and or the image of this individual. It's not just that. It's the contribution that you have done to the society that will build your brand and build your growth for your company.
No, when we're saying things, this, contribution to the society, this is probably also, I believe, the founders' independent energy, individuals' energy actually influences the entire business places, entire workplaces energy much dramatically. Because, and also probably this is, if I'm not wrong, this is why probably they used to, have a vision, and the vision that actually come from the founder's vision, because the founder's vision is what actually he wants to, how he wants the new changes, the new societal impact that he wants to create. That itself, that idea itself has an energy, and the founder's energy then influences the energy of the entire business places. So this probably we can see into the new businesses, new entrepreneurs, because they don't have any legacy, they don't have anything to prove. They're now building something.
Yes.
They are into desire of creating a new legacy, so their energy is quite different. While on the other businesses, like the legacy business owners or the small business owners, they are trying to only sustain themselves, which is why probably the energy is different, right? What do you say
Yes.
about this?
Yes. So if you take the startup founders, right? They get a vision. They think that this is the vision that they want to go for. But what exactly is the contribution they want to make to the society? It's not just about creating a job. It's not giving jobs to 10,000 people or a million people and all of that alone. Yes, that is one set of it, but what is the positive energy that you want to bring to the society? How are you going to enhance this community going forward, aside from giving a job? This is just from a salary perspective. It's just that part of it that you're doing. But there might be another portion where they have to do some sort of a contribution to the community, that helping people grow in themselves, right? Maybe you become a mentor, maybe you become a, an investor for another company, you may become a tutor for some students, or a college industry where you go out and do speaking to these upcoming youth that are coming out from college, for example, because they need guidance as well, because when they come out, they are facing a lot of challenges in the world. So the youth requires a leader. And who are those leaders that they're looking up? They need to see all these founders and legacy founders as well as leaders, right? Besides our divine, who is also our, that we look up to as our guidance. So when we look up to all these, what are their contribution, we have to see. So what is the energy that they have placed in each of these society, is what we want. People have to start looking out to it. It's not just about building a story, doing a marketing, doing a PR, and getting out there about an individual. That is not at all, right? If you have touched an individual from a health perspective, or touched an individual from housing perspective, or from giving a food perspective, that energy really will hold on for a longer period of time. Whereas if you're just doing, just building a company because you want to earn a lot of money, that energy will contain within a paper money, right? Paper money is nothing, right? It is just for us to live today in this world. But when you touch a soul, the soul energy continues to permeate within the universe, or within this world that we are living in. So that is the kind of difference. So when you see the legacy, that's what they're tapping in. They're tapping into the society. They're giving them food, they're giving them housing, they're giving them so many things, right? It's not that they're doing it for free, they're also giving them the job, but at the same time they're making sure that this individual also should grow along with this company, right? There may be people who don't want to grow in the company, they just want to be normal. That is up to them. But there are many people who go out and become successful after working for a company as well, right? So the energy shifts from there. So it is the kind of a contribution you have to look at, from a legacy perspective. That so many, it's not just the story. Of course, today you see there's a lot of marketing and PR campaign that is happening for all these,
Right.
whether it's legacy, whether it's a startup, you see a lot of it. But what exactly is the story? Where is the touch point for this energy? you know when we look at this energy touch point, we'll understand that, okay, I want to be associated with this brand. I want to be buying this product because I value what they're doing. It's not just about getting into the trend. Today the trend is sustainability is a big word that is in the industry, that you have to be sustainable, you need to meet this climate situations, etc. So that's, if you just use the word but you're not really contributing towards that environmental friendly area, then there's no point just selling the program, right? There's no point selling those. So it's basically going in as an energy, but it's shifting back very quickly because people don't really believe in that story. It's because that energy is just going one way, it's not coming back and touching the soul of the other individual or the customer that wants to buy that product. So I would say that it has to be a touch point at a soul level. What exactly the story that they want to build upon? What is the legacy? Legacy means you are really doing something for the society that is going to change this entire paradigm of this world. You know? So this is
When we are discussing this, there are a lot of ideas that are coming to my mind. Like I've started feeling like the prime job of a CEO, the prime job of a founder or the business owner is to actually maintain the energy of its business place, right?
Yes.
Because I feel really by stepping into an office, is by stepping into a factory or small business place, you can actually sense uh, the kind of energy that exists there, right? So there are some business places, there are some offices where you feel like everything has to be in a very fast move. There are some businesses where you enter and feel like that everything has to be very organized, neat and clean and organized. Then there are businesses where you feel everything is on a laggard mode, on a snail tail mode. Uh, how do you understand, as a healer, as a spiritual healer, as a business, energy healer, how do you understand how business owners can understand their own energy? Because when I, as an outsider, go and step into an office, I can sense the energy, right? But how a business owner himself can adjust, understand, and how do you see how? What are your methods? What are your ways to understand the existing aura, existing vibrations of that place?
Of course, if that individual is evolved, the founder or CEO, he or she will definitely be able to see the energy of this, uh, your board members or your employees' energy, aura, and the energy that exists. Because even when
No,
you,
actually, what I'm sorry I'm to interrupt you. Actually, I have a point because founders, and since I've been into that shoes also, so I believe founders actually run and live in their own minds, and
yes.
they really do not understand at maximum most majority of the time they do not understand the kind of energy they are broadcasting to their team members. So this is the angle that I want your thoughts on.
Yeah, in case they are just saying, okay, I need you to get this done, and that's it. I don't care how you do it, what you do, just get this done, meet this thing. Then that is not the kind of energy that employees would feel differently. Do they want to do it? Maybe there will be some who will be doing it because they have to earn the money, right? That is the mindset or the set of people that exists, right? They will say, okay, I will do it because I've been asked to do it. But there will be people who will think that, okay, I don't think this is correct, and they will have a discussion with the founder or CEO and say, maybe we should tackle this differently. So you see a different set of energies that may exist in the company. So the founders and the CEOs should pay attention to all of these, because otherwise, you're dealing with people who may not be interested in contributing to the way your company should be growing. So first of all, whether can they sense the energy is whether they are an evolved soul. If they are not an evolved soul, what they can do is always through meditation they can set the intention when they come to work every day, so that they don't send negative vibration towards the employees and the board members that they're working with, or even external suppliers, right? So when you are working with them, you send the positive energy, so the employees will be also be happy to get this work done. At the end of the day, you want this particular strategy executed and get it done. But at the same time, there may be times that you may want to do some adjustment, because you can't be just one way. There may be situations where you have to adjust your plan accordingly as what is going on in the world or in the industry. So accordingly, you can do some adjustment. It doesn't mean that you are losing phase on any of these particular discussion. You're just getting into the understanding of why this strategy would work and would not work, and what would be carried out. So that kind of energy needs to be shifted out towards the employees, so that they can execute as per your vision, as per your expectation. But at the same time, don't put a forceful energy into the company people, or the employees, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that all the employees are also aligned with your values and your vision, right? When they respect your values, they will also execute your vision, right? Your values has to be a positive value, right? If it has a negative values, then you cannot the employees would definitely not be interested in getting it done. They may get it done later, but may affect your deadline, your timeline, etc. Right? There may be situations where you might have to lose some employees as well. And you see in today's world, the employees are not staying on, especially in India. People don't stay on the job for even 6 months. They keep jumping, shifting to another company after 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. There's no like loyalty in those days where you stay with the company forever, right? If you see the legacy brands, people like to stay with the legacy brand because they're taken care of from everything, right? From their health, from their family, from their housing, everything is taken care. So that's their touch point. Whereas the new founder is only interested in getting their business up and running. You know, so you see the differences. So that's why the new founder CEO will have to do some sort of external contribution to the society, so that that energy kind of also brings into their company to kind of create that positive vibration all the time.
So what I'm sensing is you are suggesting the idea that it's not the amount of salaries, it's not the level of salaries,
Yeah.
but managing the energies and and getting the best out of your people, your employee, or your business place probably is also a matter of uh, like giving people something to be proud of, you know, rather like in startup world, like everyone involved in a small startup actually believes that they're going to do something greater, which will have a greater impact on their own, say, profile, or on their own, reputation, and their own success in the future. And this success, this reputation has nothing to do with the salary they're earning, right?
Yeah.
Um, and even despite they can have they might be earning crores in the in annual salary, and even people who are working with 50,000 rupees in salary, like the impact is same till the time the founders are able to maintain the energy that actually confirms them, that asserts them that you're doing something great. Are you suggesting this is something what is missing into the traditional business format and small business segment? Is this something they are missing to
In the
create?
traditional business,
Yeah, traditional businesses, small businesses.
the traditional business is always has the value because they are traditional. They follow the legacy of what their generation have passed on. So let's say, for example, even if you take a smaller, food industry, they're so careful about how they uh, prepare those spices, for example, right? They're even careful about all these little things that goes into the making of these spices. So the traditional legacy companies are focused more on authenticity. So the word authenticity means that you are keeping up to the values of what the tradition has passed on. Right? Whereas the founders and the new CEOs, they have to concentrate on these three aspect of it. That's why I always believe that my principle was authenticity, value, and trust. These three things come together. This is my three principle in my external business world. If I don't appreciate these three things, I cannot become a great entrepreneur, right? So these three things has to be built in into their concept, so that their businesses flourish from an authenticity standpoint. Is not just because they want to earn a money or become successful in a business because they want to grow the business just in terms of dollar value. Then you're putting your energy into the dollar value, not creating authenticity. Then when it comes to value, you are actually contributing it to the customers who are purchasing it, or the community that you are providing your support, etc. So that value energy permeates throughout your company business. Then the trust comes in when your product is so good that you don't need marketing, right? You don't need marketing, and it goes word by mouth, right? By word of mouth, everything goes out. By marketing, you would do it because you otherwise, if you're in a community where you want to sell internationally, you still have to do some sort of marketing. But but people will be happy to talk about your product, not because they want to be paid. And nowadays you have the influencer structure, so it's not because they want to be paid, but they clearly understand the value of these products. So that's why they are willing to talk about your product. So these three categories are so important, and how these energies are set into the context of getting or marketing your products out there, and sending the positive vibes and energy towards the customer is so important. So that's why the small business people, either they are successful, but at the same time it's a struggle, because we are trying to compete into the market where legacy industries exist, and also where bigger investors exist for the market, right? So the smaller industries or small businesses, they are building based on their own fundings. They are probably not getting fundings from anyone. They might be just taking, selling their home, or maybe, um, taking a small business loan from the banks, and trying to start up a small business, even a candle business, or starting up small little things from home can be successful too. Nowadays you see t-shirt business, candle businesses, incense sticks, small little stuff, even diaries. These are also small businesses. But what is the value that you're sending out? What is the positive energy that you're sending out? You're sending out that because this is done by hand, by myself, and this has my own imprint of this product, that has a value, right? So you're sending that positive energy towards the customer who's purchasing this particular product. And that customer's energy would also be attached to this product, because this has been done with, with your own hand, and, it has a positive energy towards it. There are sometimes when you purchase certain things, you feel like, oh, why did I purchase it? That's because that product has something that, even the shirts or t-shirts, or even materials that we buy, you will notice that you will not touch certain particular you know clothes, even after you liked it so much, even after you bring it home, it's still there, but you're not wearing them, because your energy, your soul energy knows that particular product is vibrating some sort of energy. It has energy in it. So we have to kind of start paying attention to all of this. So it's about even food preparation, food industry. Let's say you're ordering food, you go to a hotel, you're asking the chef to prepare for you. The chef has to prepare with a lot of love. If they're not preparing with a lot of love, that food that is preparing may not taste good. So when it comes to the table, the customer complains because the taste is not good, there is some problem with the food. It's because the chef didn't pay attention to what he was preparing, right? So the energy that has gone in is not compassionate, or is not love, preparing that food. He has just put in some of his, negative energy preparing that food. Oh, I have to prepare this food in 10 minutes or 25 minutes. And there goes the food to the customer, and you get a food that is not tasting as you
So,
would.
right. So, probably I also feel like entrepreneurs usually, and especially the small business owners, usually get this thing value incorrect. They think like the value in terms of the features of the product, and the features versus the price of the product, but the value actually should be more personal, should be more behavioral, should be more in the ethics, in terms of even in the business scenario. And when you have that value system in yourself, when you know and your values are being reflected into your customers team also, like your support team, your sales team, the entire business space actually turns, broadcast a different sort of value to do business with. I also, I like for example, I when you were talking about the restaurant, I have been a great admirer of the story of the Taj Hotel. When
Yes,
there was a terrorist attack on Taj, you know, uh, there was no one single employee who left the hotel, and they all tried to protect their
yes,
own employees. Right? Now there has to be something very different on energy level, which was far beyond and has of multiple greater value than the salary alone they were getting, right? It was not only to save their salaries, which is why they didn't left. It has to be something, a different level of energy why they all stayed there, to protect their brand, to protect their people, to protect themselves. And
I have a
what
great
would it be?
example to talk about Taj because I
Yeah.
stayed in Taj for many years.
Okay.
And especially because we were long staying guests, we, they have a picture of us and say, okay, Yashoda has, all these requirements. They have a picture posted, and everybody of their staff will know. It is not quite accessible, but one day they did take me there and show me, okay, this is your requirements, this is how we. I did not see other customers, but only mine because that's privacy. So they just showed for as an example, and I so appreciate because when I come to my breakfast, they know what I like. When I come for lunch, they know what I like. And what I like in my room, they also know that. So even if there is a minute detail that is missing in the room, by the time I finish my breakfast, it's done. When you go back, it's done. And like you say, yes, the Taj employees have stayed with the company for such a long time. So there is I would say there is definitely a value attached to it that the employees, stay on with the company because of the way they have taken care of the employees. Right? It's not just the brand alone. It's the employees that are taken care of, and therefore, when the employees are treating the customers, it's also reflecting on from them towards us. Like for me, whenever I step in, I always feel like it's my second home. So I always feel that I feel like I am always welcome in this hotel, and I always feel so good. There may be days, there may be, food can go always here and there, but it doesn't matter because sometimes it depends on all the products that we get from the supplier, because it all depends on the supplier supplying you with the positive energy, right? So the chef may do the best, but the supplier may be sending different energy. So the employees, yes, makes a difference. So they stay on because the company, the brand, is not just the logo alone or the salary that they're getting from this company, but it's the value that this company is imparting towards this employee from a positive energy, and the same thing is getting reflected to us as a customer, and we get that positive energy. So the two energies are vibrating at the same level, you know. So I'm happy to speak this Taj because I'm a fan of Taj.
Right. So probably to draw from this discussion is, for the small business owners, say, I feel what they should think is from this angle, if you are talking to your people from the angle of, are you talking to their needs or are you talking to their energies? Maybe simply by switching the frequency, you can actually switch the kind of behavior you get from them.
Yes, yes. I mean, if let's say they have an issue for the day, let's say you're working and you have some issue, you have to be compassionate towards the employee, right? If let's
Right.
say, assuming they have some emergency situation in their home, it doesn't mean that the work will not get done. Work can get done. You have so many other employees can stand in and do the rest of the work. Even if you try to keep that employee behind and try to get work done, that's not correct. The value is lost there, right? Second, that employee will start building an energy that that this is not the company I want to work for in the next couple of years anymore, right? And he or she will start looking for a job outside, right? So, and the employees that exist there can help him or her to cover up for the day. It's not that the day will be lost because this employee is gone. In the
Right.
factory environment, you still have a lot of employees who can cover up for the day. There may be some production issues will exist, but I'm sure that it can be covered up. It's not that you have lost so much revenue that in that one day you shouldn't give that kind of energy into it, because once you do that, then If you do that to one employee, the rest of the employee also sees that, and they may start to,
Correct. And it has a chain effect.
yes, an impression and energy start building up in that environment. So we should avoid all of that.
There have been different terms for these, like I remember Stephen Covey in his book Seven Habits of Highly
Seven
Effective
habits,
People
yes.
has given it a name of the emotional deposits, creating an emotional bank accounts with people, right? Like so, if I do something empathetically good for you, I have created an emotional bank account with you, and I have created an emotional deposit with you. So on the same terms, we're talking.
Emotional
So
quotient, basically, EQ.
yeah, most important. So, like in the same frequency, when energy of people is so much important, and in terms of uh, the uh, the larger number of people are there in the business place, into a business, into an office, the larger will be the amount of the compounding of the overall energy, whether good or bad. You know, other than the people, when it comes to choosing the business partners for the founders, like the core management team, what sort of energy pointers people should be actually worried of, or people should be say the energy checkpoints that people should have before they do fall into a partnership with other people.
Yeah. See, there are different partnership. One is sole proprietor, which is yourself alone, so you don't have any headache of deciding or what you want to do. But when it comes to partnership, there are many variety of partnership. There are sleeping partner who does nothing but just investing, and
Right.
then one person is doing all the running around, right? Then there's the other partner who may come with the different industry background, which will be a contribution towards the company. So that individual will have to contribute. Otherwise, that two energies may not vibe together. So, assuming this person is from a real business industry, A, and this person is actually a lawyer, so he or she comes with a law background, would really add to the perspective of the company. Because any company would need a lawyer, because that's the first thing that you want to look at from a trademark, patent, infringement, those kind of aspects that you want to look at. And then you also need lawyer for any other company documentations, etc. And then you will have another set of people who are coming from the HR industry, who would be more people oriented, so, or human resources, right? So those kind of people would give you a different set of energy level. So how do you select them? When you are talking to the individual, you should come to an understanding that you know this is what your expectation is at the beginning. If they're just coming in the middle of your company building perspective, or while you're building a company, um, your vision has to be protected first, because that is your vision. Your intellectual property cannot be just tapped by another individual and then be considered as someone who is actually contributing to the company. So this recognition has to happen that this founder has found this vision, and this recognition has to happen. This positivity has to be created. I believe this documentation can be done in a physical format. I'm sure there will be good people out there who can create this document out there, so that this IP is not lost. Because when the partner comes in, he or she is coming with the intention, yes, I think I'm going to be contributing to this company. I may bring a new perspective, I may bring in the money. But there will be another third category that they just want to jump in because they see that this particular idea is great, and they just want to just go along with it. This is very dangerous, because this CEO founder has to know that this individual is just going to come and write on your company, right? So it is an energy, a shift of energy that they're bringing in quickly, and this founder CEO has to open up, wider. I mean, be in an awareness state,
Hmm.
The consciousness level has to be at a higher level, that he or she can see that this individual is not just coming to take a ride in your company and take in the money from the earnings that you're going to be doing. The reason why I'm saying is because the founder has to be respected for his idea, because this idea belongs to him or her. While the company is growing, it should not be forgotten that this idea, this company grew because of this founder. Irrespective whether the money is coming from an investor, whether it's coming from a business partner, etc. It doesn't matter. But this idea has to be protected because it is or his or her idea. So that energy has to be protected. Then this partner, the sleeping partners and the ones who wants to ride on and start coming in, they come in with a good intention, it's fine, there is no problem. But there are many who just want to, they see a potential that he or she has, and they just want to jump in and come in and take a ride. So this is where the energy level has to be understood very clearly, where they're coming from while they're having a discussion. It has to be.
Even the sleeping partner brings in an energy. They also impact the energy of the original founder who will be working every day.
Yeah, I mean they don't really work, they're just there because if especially your company is building up from overseas, you need to have an Indian director in India. This is a requirement from the regulatory perspective, so you need to have a local Indian director as part of the company setup. So this sleeping partner is just for that purposes only. So he or she may not, but he or she may get a share of being a director. So that has to be decided in the while you are setting up the documentation for the company. What will be the contribution of this partner A, B, C, D. You know, so that you're very clear where what kind of contribution they're going to give. Are they just going to be giving nothing? Then you only get this. If you're getting giving this kind of contribution, you're going to give this kind of share, and so on, right? So I think the energy that comes in with this partners has to be clearly understood. What is the intention of this partnership? If the partnership is just to get a right, no. If the partnership is to grow the company, bring in new perspective, bring in the networking that is required for this company, yes. So we should, consider these aspects of it. Because it's all
Yeah.
about growing the company, growing the revenue, and also contributing to the society as well, right? I always touch a point that contributing to the society, because it is where customers will connect very easily, when they see that you're doing something for the society. If you're just doing a business for the sake of earning revenue, it may sustain for a while, but not in the long run.
And it shows in the behavior of the founders also, in the whole team.
Yes.
And you cannot fake also. You cannot fake your energy. Like I believe running a business is almost looks like cultivating a home. So at both of the places you have to be very mindful of how what sort of emotional, what sort of energy wise, psychographically, how you are cultivating your people, and you cannot fake it. Like I remember, and I'm talking in this specifically this point out of the line probably, but I remember there was someone was telling me that there has been cases where actually people do black magic on a business, right? And
Yes.
similar to what they do to your homes, you know. So I don't know if that is something exists or not. I personally do not believe because I'm a more of a logical kind of guy. My logical side of the brain works much more than my emotional side. But
Yeah.
again, what do you think? Is it true? Is it something that really happens?
Well, if you ask my dad, he'll say there's nothing like that exists. But the black magic is an existing form of business. It's another business, an industry that is running very
Hmm.
strong. There are This is the tantric side of the divine, right? That's why when you get into meditation, it's so important that you understand the type of energy that you're connecting with. You know, The divine energies, they will never do harm to you. They will only take you to the right path and complete your journey for you. Whereas this one is a shortcut. They'll give you success, they will do everything for you, but whereas, the rest you have to do on your own, right? But there are people who are actually doing it for the money, right? You go to a particular place, wherever this is getting done, you go with a picture or you go with something from this individual. They will just do certain mantra. That's why we should never follow the tantric way of life. Tantric is totally not divine. Tantric is a practice that actually is a shortcut to a divine, you know. So it is not correct way, and it could affect if you do it wrongly also, you know. It could sacrifice your life, it could sacrifice your family as well. So people might take things there and then, or the photo, everything, and then say, oh, and or mention this name. Let's say if your name, for example, I will cancel this later, but Gaurav, okay, I'm going to go give Gaurav's name to somebody, and this person, a puja, it's not a pujari, he's, he could, in the Kerala it's called nambodris, they do these things, yeah. Yeah, and the similar Nambodris exist in all parts of India, right? It can be a lady, it can be a man also who does this kind of things, and they do it for the sake of money, and they act, and they shouldn't. Rightfully, they shouldn't be doing all these things because, and they are there because people are gullible. People want quick answer, quick results for everything. So they go there, they get it done, and then you see Gaurav getting sick. He cannot run his business, and his business gets lost, right, from a revenue standpoint. But for you to get up, you need to connect with your divine. Divine is what is going to complete your journey and also protect you and keep you, safe all throughout your journey in your business and in your environment. When you would have seen in some, when you go to certain shops, they always do the prayer first before they open the shop, right? So it's always giving respect to the divine first, and then they open up the shop.
Right.
Similarly, just how we do it as an individual at home, we are starting up with the prayer and the meditation, and it just starts the day. So yes, this energy, black energies exist, which we call the negative energies, right? They are there to disturb the environment. They don't want Gaurav to progress in life. They don't want Yashoda to progress in life. So therefore, they do these things to affect us. And then when it affects us, physically it affects us from a health standpoint. And then mentally also it affects us so that we cannot progress, thinking that we cannot do it. It kinds of transform from doing, able to do it, to cannot do it, you know. So that's why we always have to say the positive affirmation every day so that our thoughts are always vibrating, frequency is vibrating at the positive frequency.
So let me ask you something. For example, if someone did it for me, right? Who did it on me remotely, and like I never come to know about it, that something has been done on me. Because if I know, if some clue has been to come to me that someone has did this, probably I'll be more fearful and I will amplify the result. I'll create matches for myself. But if in case I don't know, I never come to realize that something has been done for me, uh, will it have impact even that cases?
Yes, it will. It will. Some people will say, no, it will not impact me because they have already put a protection around them. So it will not have an impact, right? Like, for example, for me, if I have put a protection, it will not impact me anymore, right? But if you're a person who didn't realize, but all the while you have so many problems every day, getting through your day, getting through your business, then yes, there's definitely some sort of energy that is disturbing you, either from your aura perspective or physically it has entered your soul. I'm sure you remember the story of Tirumular, which I had shared in a couple
Right.
of years back. That he went to help this as a shepherd. He left his body. So the other, so when he came back to look for his body is no longer there because Shiva played his divine play to show that hey, don't just leave your body. You have to ask my permission before leaving. so that I protect your body. So, so in that sense, there's other negative souls can come and partake as part of you, and you start behaving differently, and that affects your family, that affects your environment, that affects your business. So when you're talking to your co-partners and everything, it affects. So whether you believe in it or not believe in it, it exists because that industry exists, as we have seen it before, right? People have seen it. People are going for it. I do have a lot of clients who have come for me with me saying that they are affected, and I can see what the reasons are also, where they are affected, what is affecting them, and immediately we are able to clear it as well. I can help them clear it, and they can get out of it easily. So that's why that meditation, protection at night, and protecting yourself in the morning before you go to work, all that is so important, because so many energies we are interacting, even in the train, the bus, when you're traveling, everything. There's so many energies coming. So we have to be very careful, when we are dealing with our, from a business standpoint as well.
Does
So,
Vastu help in this on
sorry,
protection side?
sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, I'm asking, does Vastu, on the other hand, creates any type of protection? Does it work?
Well, Vastu,
Especially in terms of business places.
yeah, Vastu, you can keep those, divine, whoever you believe in, you can just place them. But from a energy perspective on an individual, I would say meditation, there's nothing like meditation. Nothing like meditation. Even in the, there is the feng shui, which is the equivalent of Chinese version of Vastu. It's the same thing. They'll say, place this in this corner, place this in that corner. Same for Vastu. They will say, change your position of your door. It should be facing east and this and that, right? It is all putting a thought process into your mind, or into your thought process to say, if this is not correct, it will affect your whole family, those kind of things. So to me, nothing like meditation, nothing like protection, putting your protection around your aura, and you just go, because we are all kind of a divine soul. So we just have to protect our energy and energy level, and we should be fine.
So meditation is good for the personal protection. What about businesses protection? How to protect my business? How to protect how someone a small business owner can protect his business entirely from all sort of negative energies, like and how to also transform the energy of the business place. Like, does kind of organizing a session of like meditation sessions, or maybe does energy healing sessions organization conducting with workshops with people, or the employees of the company, collective workshops, does those sort of things helps, or how it goes, the
Yeah.
energy transformation for businesses?
Yeah, while we are doing the meditation at home, saying that, keep my business, positive, running properly, my employees, you have to even talk about your employees. Keep my employees happy. Don't let them fight, for example. Don't let them be sad for the day or something like that. No, I'm just giving a hypothetical example, but your affirmations can include for your business, so you can do that. So when you go to the business, you'll see all your happy employees, keep them in your prayers, keep them in your meditation, right? So the positive vibration permeates. We are all collective energies, right? All of us are collective energies, so we have to keep everyone happy. So even if I pray for all 8 billion people, I'm praying for all 8 billion people to be healthy and to be able to be awakened to their consciousness status, so that they all become awakened and know their divine, so that they can progress in their life. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of interruptions to their soul energy. There'll be interruption to their level of, health. It will also impact the family. While riding a cycle, riding a bicycle, you see a lot of, natural disasters also happening. If you are fully divinely connected, even if there is a natural disaster, your divine will come for you, right? Or if you're just doing a prayer just for the sake of doing a prayer every day and opening a shop and doing a prayer, no. No, it has to be with intention. If you are doing it with a good intention, your divine will definitely come for you. I would say, because I have seen for myself. I have seen that example, and I can vouch for it that they will come for me. Even if I call them, they will come for me definitely.
So, is it really useful to like conduct mass energy healing sessions? Is it even a
Yes,
possibility
that's
or
what.
not?
Yeah, you mentioned about this.
Like I understand you can do it with the one-on-one people, right? And it impacts much more. But is it a possibility in terms of when someone say a company with 100 people want to conduct a energy transformation for their own business?
Yeah.
How it goes? Is it a possibility? Is it happen?
Yes, yes. A guru can always impart, even if there are thousands and millions of people, a guru
And
can.
will it also have a lasting impact? That's
Yes,
also
yes. It'll touch at the soul level, right? So, yeah, assuming you want to do a workshop for your employees, which one of your question is, yes, you should, because then it'll help the employee to build up a positive energy within them, so that they are also happy working for the company that they're working for, and also help them physically and emotionally for their own personal life as well. Because at the end of the day, they have to be physically fit and emotionally fit to work in a work environment, right? So the workshop, would definitely be helpful to run a camp in their company, or an environment, or even in a greater, bigger audience. And it will have a lasting impact on the employees, because it'll create, first of all, the energy level will be raised, right? And the vibrations would all be rising up, and the frequency will also be vibrating at a certain frequency, right? This is the divine frequency that they will all be vibrating at. So they have to be given this opportunity so that they can also experience for themselves, and then start, building up on a more physical and emotionally resilient employees in the company, so that they can contribute productively towards the growth of the company. Because
so one
everybody, yeah, everybody would come with some sort of an energy from their home, right? You want the businesses to flourish, you want to have a productive day in the business. This would definitely, the camp would definitely be helpful for them.
great. So it was a good session. A lot of learnings from you. So conclusively, what's your advice? What's your mindful advice to small business owners? About managing their energy on personal basis on business basis.
Yeah, they
Final
can.
conclusive thoughts.
If they are small business company, if it is a small 10 employees or 100 employees, they can have a once a month session, and have a just a general breathing exercises, and being in the natural environment, find a place where it's natural, and also just do a 5-minute meditation session also will be helpful for them. It will create that vibration, and everybody will be rising at the same frequency. So
Yeah,
that.
at least this much every HR can conduct, because you don't need a spiritual hero like you for
No, no.
in such case. It's a very small practice.
Yes, just a general
That
practice they can do every day. They don't need Yashoda to come and run this program for them. Just a 5 minutes breathing, 5 minutes, once a month, it will help to enhance and also bring in, a greater networking among the employees.
usually why I feel is it's good to conduct mass employee energy skilling session and medicine session, especially by bringing in some people, some expert is because most majority of the time HRs, CEOs, managing directors actually get busy to they actually get too engaged to their businesses. So that one of my mentor used to tell me that you must work on the business and not in the business. So majority of the time, HRs and all the other people actually work too deep in the business that they actually forget the larger picture. This is probably where an external help can actually help. I
Yeah,
feel so.
and I would say that because there's a lot of contention happening during the meetings, everything. I think one of the greatest tip would be forgiveness. Forgiving each other would be a best exercise that they can practice at least once a month. Forgiveness can be done at a company level, at individual, at national level, where even wars had happened before, and still people have not forgotten those days where these things have happened, right? And these
Even the
souls,
empathy,
sorry, yeah, and
even empathy.
yes, empathy. So you can do this forgiving so that it gives a resolution to the soul that has awaited for this forgiveness for a long, long, long time. Whether it's a small contention or a physical happening, natural disasters that happen, or national level, the war that is happening, that national level forgiveness will actually bring a lot of peace towards the entire world, I would say. And at the company level, this is going to give a greater impact, and you will have a better employee productivity as well going forward.
Sure, like on the daily basis, people and employees like normal humans, we all are a subject of biases. We all judge each other, right? So
Yes,
I feel like with having an empathic side of the your own emotions and towards the people, probably since we don't know what is going in the life of your employees. So instead of judging them, it's far better to actually have an empathic side, have a more forgiving attitude. Probably you can
yes,
actually improve the overall acceptability between people because there are a lot of clashes that happen in the business.
yes,
So your advice of forgiving is one big thing into this,
yes.
repairing this entire thing, repairing these entire negative energies, and also the empathy side.
And the last point is the human touch, right? Because today we are going into the AI environment where human touch is kind of missing. We are too much into the computer, whereas we're forgetting the human touch that used to be before. Even a celebration, congratulating someone for their success, or even a birthday celebration is forgotten today. So I think that has to be brought back, so that the human touch continues, because that touch is basically the soul level. That is the energy that you're touching again.
This is a topic that I can continue to talk about. I would love to never end this discussion, and if the timeline would not be there. But again, thank you very much for coming.